Just a second, I'll share the slides. So this part will be less about the slides, more about doing. All right. So the practice. So we had an introduction and we had some theory. We are running around like 15 minutes a bit late. So we will just, I think, have another like 45 minutes for the practice session, and then we'll have a break for those, just because the main idea is basically to start the data collection, then go on and have coffee or tea or some sandwich maybe, and then we'll have a theory. And after we have our break and the theory, we'll get the data, and then we'll work with the data that we got. So the main objective right now is to understand like how the platform works, configure the project, launch everything, and then come back. If you are going to be facing any problems, we'll be here to help. And also for our like second practice session, we will also provide with the data set just in case, you know, like you've completely are lost or something. So no worries, everything should be, you know, for your convenience and for you to learn. So should be fine. First, I just wanted to show you how like Toloka works, and I will go through several slides, and then I will show you like a quick demo. And after that, we will give you an instruction, like in a PDF format, and you will access your profiles and launch and configure and launch the projects. So this is how the requesters dashboard looks like. And as I mentioned before, for the performers, Toloka is very simple. I'll show you if we have time, because the performers should be the people coming from any background, and they shouldn't be wasting their time on getting familiar with the platform. They just should come and take some tasks. For the requesters, it's a bit different, just because here we have to first of all think about what kind of data we want to label, and then we have to actually like configure the projects and do all the steps that Natasha has mentioned before. So that's how the dashboard looks like. And Toloka basically is it has like three layers of the funnel. So the first layer of the funnel is the project that you have to configure, and the project is kind of like a skeleton of your task. Here you have to think about how to you know, how the project should look like. You think about what are like the instructions, what is your input data and what's your output data, and you also should think about how the interface of your project should look like. The second step of the funnel is the pool, and here we configure different settings such as filters and some parameters such as pricing, the time that is needed to complete one page of the tasks, and different quality controls. And the third layer of the funnel is basically when we upload your data. And here it's pretty simple. You just need to upload it, and that's it. So in Toloka, there are many different templates, and in other platforms too. So usually you don't have to create a project from scratch. Sometimes you can just use whatever it's available to you. And sometimes if your project is needs a lot of customization, of course, you'll have to create from scratch. Today, we'll create from scratch just because we wanted, you know, to make sure that you use the interface that we offer. So, Natasha, I see someone is knocking on our door in Zoom. Can you please accept, just because I can't for some reason? So so first step is just to create the project. You have to, sometimes you have to code a little bit, but not today. Then for the pool settings, you really have to think about, what's the most optimal price, how many, like what's the optimal overlap. Like usually we put it for 3 or 5 maximum. What are the filters, like what languages your performers need to speak, and like what devices they want to use. For example, for the offline data collection where they have to go and take a photo somewhere, of course, those would be the mobile performers, like the mobile using performers, just because it's impossible to go somewhere with your computer and take a photo. And also when you upload your file, there are a lot of other quality control rules that you do. So let me just go faster because I want you to start working. So there are many different task types in Toloka. The main tasks are the tasks that you have to give to the crowd, like to the performers to label. This is like your real data set. We have control tasks, or the golden sets, or the honeypots that we've covered already. Those are the things, the tasks that we mix with the main tasks in order to understand whether a person is doing a good job or not. And also we have training tasks, and I'll cover that a bit later. We will be using the training in our project as well. And of course, whenever we have uploaded our data, we will run the project. That's how the dashboard with the interface will look like. Don't worry, you'll see it for yourself, so you don't have to memorize anything. The main point is that there will be a lot of statistics and data that could be useful for you. Like, for example, you can see how much time your people are spending, how many people are working on your tasks, their quality, and like the budget you're spending, and many other things. And after we have our project completed, after you have like 100%, of course, we most often have to do the aggregation. In Toloka, we have David Skin and aggregation by skill models. Today, we will use another interesting aggregation model, and in our practice part number 2, so stay tuned. So let me just give you a couple words about like what our practice is going to look like today. So our main problem sounds like this. Imagine that you are developing a machine learning pipeline to help you improve speech recognition quality of your voice assistant, for example. You want your voice assistant to understand certain things much better. So imagine that you already have like a data set with audio recordings, and we are going to provide it to you in a moment. You need to get pretty much every recording to be transcribed, and then you'll use all of those transcribed recording in order to train your voice assistants. So our main goal for today is that we need to get the data sets of many different audio recordings transcribed. So the project will look like this. We will use the training first because, well, that's pretty much is the best practice. Whenever you are dealing with people who don't know what to do with your tasks, it's always better to train them. So first we will do like a training pool where a lot of different performers will try to do the training. If they succeed to a certain level, we'll let them in. If they don't succeed, sorry, they'll have to try again. And then they'll get to the main pool. They will be transcribing different audios. You can listen to them whenever you start your own practice. They are all different texts of people recorded with like people speaking English. However, they all have very different, accents and dialects. And so that's pretty much it. So that's our project for today. So the pipeline will be looking a bit like this. First, we need to filter our performance by training. We have a separate data sets for the training tasks. Once they complete it successfully, they'll go on the main task where they have to transcribe the real data sets. And in order to do that, we will be using skills. So you will see how this looks like. So let me just show you right now how Toloka looks like in production before you start doing this yourself. All right, so when you sign in, and I'm pretty sure that we asked you to sign up, like to register on Toloka in advance. If you haven't, please do take your time. So whenever you register on Toloka, you'll see something like, as a requester, you will see a dashboard something like this. You can see here I have a number of different projects that we've been launching. You'll have a blank space here, so no worries. And here we'll have, like, on the top corner, we have different pages. So we have projects. We have a list of different users that would be working on your projects, that already worked on your project. So you can see here I have many, just because I've used many different projects, and you can see where they're coming from by their flags. So I see someone, for example, in Brazil, someone from Pakistan, I see someone from India. I think this is Norwegian, by the way, Germany. So I don't know them, like I don't know their names or surnames. I see only the numbers. However, I have some idea of, their ratings, age, and some other demographics. I also have the skills. This is the list of the skills that I'm using, in order to filter different performers by the skills I assign to them. Then I have my profile, and then I have the messages that I've mentioned to you. Those are the messages I get from different performers. So, for example, I don't know, I can open the transcribe the recording. He is complaining, or she is complaining, that he can't hear the recording. So sometimes, like, you can, for example, think there is some problem. You could go to the certain task and check. And we have a lot of different feedback, for different projects here. And on the right corner, you have the amount of budget you have. So in order to use the promo code that we shared with you, you have to go to your profile page, and you have to click on a button which is called enter promo code. So here you will enter your promo code and you will activate it. So this amount of budget should be enough, for you to transcribe the data sets that we offered you to do today. So back to my slides. I have a couple of more just to finish up. So what we'll need to do, we are giving you the link to our step-by-step guides in PDF. Thanks, Natasha, for sending it to you. In this step-by-step guides, we have different links to the data sets, and probably we also send it to you, in the chat as well. We have a data sets for training, which says like train inside, and we also have a data sets for the main pool. And what you have to do is to sign in Toloka as a requester. I can also show you how to do that if you want to. However, if you're struggling, we also have a testing account. We can just share it with you. So please write in the chat if you are struggling to register on Toloka.
Can ask us, not only.
Yeah, sure. Please do. All right. So for those who want to start labeling now, just go on to toloka.ai, press a button start now, press on the blue one, get labeled data. And this is the promo code that we will be using for today. So right now, it's 20 minutes. I think we'll have another 20 minutes for getting to know the platform and setting up the projects. The useful resources should be in the chat as well. I will wait for, I think, 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll also maybe show you how these projects are going to look like on my platform. And the idea is to start the training in the main pool in another 20 to 40 minutes, then go get coffee and after we will be aggregating the results. So please feel free to start, and me and Natasha are here if you run into some questions. I'll just wait for another 5 minutes before showing my project, for example. And can you guys write in the chat, like write a plus, for example, if you have logged in on Toloka successfully, so that we understand that everything is fine. All right, cool. I see people.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
You're doing so fast and have no questions.
No questions before, starting. So, yeah, please, no worries. Take your time to read the instructions and everything. Thanks.
Daria, I have a quick question regarding promo code. I was able to log in successfully, but where should I enter the promo code? It did not ask me to enter the promo code earlier too.
Sorry, so you tried to enter the promo code, but it didn't work?
Where?
It did not ask me the promo code. It asked me to log in, so I signed up using my email once.
Yeah, and it's okay. It should be so whenever you log in, you'll have to, let me just, if you want to, you can share yours or I can share my screen. Yeah, so in general, so you'll just log in to Toloka, then you go on your profile.
Okay.
And in the profile, sorry, it's landing, it's loading a bit for me. There will be like a button that says enter promo code.
Yeah, got it. I saw it. Thank you.
See
Sorry.
it?
Yeah.
Nice. Good, because my page is not loading. Yeah, so here it is. This one.
Good. Yep, I saw it. Thanks a lot.
I think we can just do not change the page because we don't have this in instruction, and maybe it would be like a tip.
You want to change the page? What? Sorry, Natasha.
No. Do not change just your screen, like to.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't have this in instruction, and maybe it would be like a tip how to enter promo code too.
All right, I see some people who are already pasting the interface. And by the way, if I just also maybe can mention, maybe some of you have already noticed that on the left we have projects, and like on the left bar, and then we have app projects beta. So let me just let you know what that is, so you're not I don't know, confused. Right now you are working with the project from scratch. right? And we understand that sometimes in crowdsourcing, it is difficult to configure the project. So we are building right now different solutions on that would help launch the projects easily. So we call them apps. And right now, if you click on create a project, first you'll see different classification projects. Those are the very, very simple projects. However, they work as I don't know, as templates, for example. And in those templates, you don't have to configure the interface. You don't have to set up quality controls or anything. So those are kind of like a shortcuts. And we just released this feature recently, and it has mostly classification. So for different like classification problems, they would work perfectly. And inside what you have to do is basically just write an instructions, and that's it. But those tasks are not suitable for the projects where we need a lot of customization. So today we are working with a full-fledged Toloka or crowdsourcing project from scratch. But if you have something like very simple and something that doesn't need a lot of fine-tuning, or just a simple classification project, you can try using apps in your time, whatever you want. Those are very easy templates too. All right. So if you have, and I'm going to write this in the chat, if you have created your project, write plus. Oh, nice. We have some.
You're fast. Fast.
Yeah, just make sure you insert the code in the interface in both of the fields too, and make sure your specifications looks like in the instructions, so that our data set will match those specifications. Cool. Natasha, could you please remind when is the break by this, like in the schedule, when it should be around?
I think we have 15 minutes and then we'll have a break.
Mhm. I think I'll show how Toloka looks for performers in a couple of minutes for those who are interested too. Yeah, I'll just show how Toloka looks like, and then I can also,
Has problems with
Application.
scaling up.
Huh?
Someone has
Well, if there are problems, just can you share maybe the testing account that we can have, and then we don't have to.
It says that the phone number is incorrect.
I can.
Yeah, I can write the test account.
All right, then let me just show how Toloka looks like for the performers really quickly for those who are interested. So this is the interface for the performers. And as you can see, it looks like a list of different projects that they can choose from. So they can, see some description. They can see how it should look like these tasks. I guess they're asking for people to send the picture showing thumbs up or something. And they can see a list of different active projects. They have a tab with awards. Oh, I have level up. Nice. I have 2 years with the local team. This is nice. Thanks. Yeah, so I mean, as people who work at Toloka, we do check a lot how like what are the projects that performers are doing. So here are the different
daily
awards.
we work as a Toloka team, and nightly we work as Tolokers. Yeah.
Yeah, we just never sleep. that's our work. So yeah, so those are different awards. I don't have many, but and here we have some like profile information, and also here I have different messages from requesters, all the way around. So for example, I get some award again, and I like this one message. This is from our self-driving car team. They're saying that, hi guys, like we have new assignments. If you want to, please come and complete them. So that's pretty much how it looks like. And did you guys, Natasha, did you guys figure out the account?
Yeah.
Fine. Cool. So yeah, so that's how our performers see Toloka, and that's how the requesters see the Toloka. So if you want to, I can also start doing the project from scratch on my screen, or I can just show you how it should look like, because of course I practiced yesterday in order for everything should be fine. What do you think, Natasha?
I think you can show briefly, and then we can have like a small break.
Yeah, sure. Let's do this. So first of all, we have to create a blank project. And as I said before, there are many different templates that you can explore, especially like for text, we have different templates, for audio also, for anything. We'll just select a blank project. Here I'll write a text, transcribe audio. And for the description, the audio and transcribe it. For the private comment, I'll just say that it's my project so that no one takes it. So this is how the performers, by the way, you can watch it, you don't have to watch it. It's just for those who are, maybe lost at some point. So that's how, like on the right, you can see how the performers are going to see, my projects, what's the project name and the description. Then we have to write an interface. I'll be using everything from the instructions. Let's just wait until it loads. We won't have an advice here to create a user-friendly interface. And I mean that's very true, just because the performers usually work for several hours. It could be a couple, it could be 5, it could be more. And if you imagine, if you spend a lot of time staring at the screen and completing sometimes monotonous tasks, of course it's better to to create something convenient for the performers. So I'll just take the code from here, so I don't have to configure everything from scratch. All right, so that's how it should look like. And then we should also add the input data example. And that's how Toloka will know exactly what kind of data we will be giving. So let's check. So there was some music, everything is fine. I have an example here. And
It was rare case. Music without text.
well, this is the example of the file, so it's not a real file, it's just an example. So I can also try to submit. So you can see here that I didn't listen to the whole recording and it doesn't let me submit. And also I haven't written anything, so the template doesn't let me submit. So that's exactly how I want to control my quality in this project. I want people to listen to the audios full, and the audios that we will be providing are short ones, and we want them to write some text here, not to cheat on the system. Then we'll have to check out our specifications. They should be looking like audio and the results format. We can look at it in this way as well if we want to. So you can see that the audio should be URLs, just check, because our data sets contains links to the audios. And as a result, format will have, like text, basically. So everything should be fine here too. Then another important thing is the instructions. Just for the time's sake, I'll take the instructions we have included here, so I don't have to write a new version here. Oh, and by the way, the training contains 5 tasks. Sorry, I have shortened it yesterday just because some of the training tasks have been outdated. I've deleted them from the data cover in the instructions. We didn't change it. It doesn't change much, so it's going to be like a good surprise for those who have launched their project. So that's how the instructions will look like. We need to sometimes, let the performers know that there will be a training so they don't work in vain. We tell them like what exactly to do with the data. Then, of course, there are some rules that we want them to follow. For example, in the data sets, there is a lot of pronunciations of numbers, and we want the people to specify those numbers in words. And this is, for example, is one of our rules. And then we want people to write lowercase, so something for us. Then there is also a fourth aspect in project creation. This is called translations. We're not going to use it right now, but this feature is usually used when you want your data set to be labeled in different countries, in different languages, on different markets. For example, you have a data set with photos, for example, right? And you want your instructions to be in different languages. Then we would use this kind of feature. Like you wouldn't have to translate anything yourself. The platform will for you. So I think I've created every single step. Now I'm going to create the pools. So my and let's preview. So my project will look kind of like this. I will have an audio I'll have some voice there. I haven't uploaded the input data yet. The instructions are here. So that's how the performer is going to look like to see my task. For those who are working right now in their own place, please, if you have started the training pool, and I will be configuring it right now. Just let me have some water. All right, so nice, cool, great, guys. You are the best. So as for the training task, let's add the training. And just to remind, this is for our performers to first of all try to do something, try to take the tasks. We as a requester know the answers to the task already, so their answers should match basically. And if they don't match, they're not going to get into our main tasks. If they do match, everything's fine. They're going to get to our main pool. And just to reiterate, like our tasks is kind of like it's a bit simple just because we don't have a lot of time, you know, to experiment. However, like this could be a perfectly production task. We would just make our training much bigger, and we would maybe get some, you know, interesting case, like include some interesting cases and rare cases to the training and make it more complicated, and maybe we could even include exam. But for, you know, the training purposes, we'll just use our simple training, and then we'll do the main tasks. So for the training title, let me do audio transcribe num 2021, something like this. Time per task. Let me check out the instructions. What do we recommend for this one? So 1200 seconds should be enough. And task suite is a page with different tasks. So I believe for the training we'll have just one page with one task, and they will need 1200 seconds. We'll do a retry after like 5 days, because if they fail right now, let's just not take those people to our main pool just yet. Well, we don't, hold on, we don't have to shuffle on the page, right? Well, we don't have to really even shuffle on the pages, because we're going to have one tasks. We don't want to assign in order of uploading, just because we want people to receive the tasks in different you know, order, and we want people to complete our tasks in full. So this is my training pool. Let me, and this is how like the dashboard looks like. On the right, I will see how many people are completing the training. Here I have zeros everywhere, just because I haven't played. I haven't started it yet. So let me upload the data. We will have one training task per page. Let me just, oh, okay. So we're not going to have one task, we're going to have 5 tasks per page. So let me upload the data. I think it's this one. Yep, it's this one. So let me upload the training pool. The system is validating the file. And here we go. So we can preview really quickly if we want to. So I have like 20 minutes for 5 tasks, so a person can listen, you know.
Which planets in our solar system do not have moons?
Yeah, so this is one of our audios, and then the person have to write out. And if he writes out everything correctly, and we will put a certain threshold to this, he'll get into the main pool. So this is our training. Let me start the training so that whenever we create our main pool and start it, we will get the people who train first, and then, you know, allow them to the main pool. So the training pool is ready. Now we have to go back to the list of pools, and I will be creating our main pool right now. I'll try to make it faster just because I know there is a coffee break. Let me take another 3 minutes. We'll launch a pool, and we'll start collecting our transcriptions. It's going to take some time, and we'll get coffee and have another theory section after this. So we are creating a main pool right now. We want to, first of all, to connect the training pool with the main pool, so that we'll have like an actual flow of people who take the training tasks and get to our main tasks. This is the training that I have just created, and the level required, let's say, I think it's like 85%. But in general, if you deal with those trainings in productions, of course, like you can put like a higher threshold, then you'll check constantly whether this threshold is too high, and then you'll have to adjust. So it's not something that set and you're done. Right now it is like this just because it's an example. However, in real time you always have to adjust to it. As per the pricing, I don't remember how much we recommend here, like 3 cents per page. And we also have a dynamic pricing option here. This is where, remember I told you, we pay more for higher quality. It's a bit more advanced techniques, and we're going to be talking about this in our next practice part and theory part as well. Then we have to find the right performers that we want. So we can switch off the adult content because I'm pretty sure we don't have any adult audios here. We need to get two kinds of, one kind of performers. We need to get the English speaking performers because our data sets is in English. So let's find a language filter and then make it to English. You can check the performers who pass the language test. However, it's going to slow down your labeling very much. So I wouldn't recommend it just because we have a training already. And if you want to use it later, you can. Like on our platform, we check performers for their languages, but it's not, how do I say, obligatory. So only if those who want to pass it, they pass it. So the pool is a bit smaller. So you can use it. However, it's going to slow down your labeling for sure. And then we want to have people who are using their computer and also their mobile phone. So because in Toloka we have default for only web version, and we want to have like a pool of performers which is as wide as possible. And in Toloka we have around like 50 or even more mobile users, and we have like half and half and web. So we want to include everyone. That's why we have this filter client. Then as for the quality control, I'm not going to use in the instructions we are asking to do the control tasks, and we are also asking to do the fast responses. I'm not going to do all of it just because it takes time. I'll just do the control tasks, the honeypots, and we already have them in the data set, so you don't have to create anything by yourself. So let's write it down. So if the number of responses equal like more than 3, I see people coming to our workshop now. Hopefully, Natasha, maybe if we see new people coming, we can, send the instructions in the chat once again. So
yeah, one more time. Okay, of course.
Yeah, thank you. And then we should think about how much correct answers we want. So we want like more than half. Then we will only ban those no, we'll leave those performers for sure. So we can either like assign them a value in order to pay them more, or like, for example, if their correct responses is less than 60, we can just ban them on the project, and that's it. Like for, let's say, like 5 days. If they give us like poorer quality, for example. Then like we have many other quality control rules. We even have like some presets, as you can see here. So, well, for such a small data sets, it's quite useless. However, when we are dealing with large data sets, of course, like we try to use many more control tasks just in order to receive a better quality. And finally, we have an overlap. It's going to be 3. So we want 3 different people to listen to the same audio and transcribe it. And then during our practice part, we will be aggregating those texts into one best decision. So stay tuned here. Also, we have a dynamic overlap. This is when we give as much overlap as needed according to the quality of the performers. We will also be speaking about this advanced technique in a moment after the break. Another feature that we have is the speed and quality balance. Of course, you can make it like 10%, but as you can see that your speed of labeling will be much lower. So usually we make it like 70 and something. And of course, it really doesn't, it's not a guarantee of the best quality. Like, for example, if you put 10% of best performers on the platforms, they can still come to your tasks and get lazy, and not do anything. So this ratio, it does help. However, it helps only with many different quality control rules. And as for the timing that we provide, we put 900 here seconds. So for the task page. So I have saved the pool, and this is my main pool now. Looks exactly like as the training pool. However, we just need to these are our settings. We just need to upload the main data set here. Let me just also download it, because so the data set here. And how much was the ratio we want? So here we are going to use smart mixing. Like you can upload it like manually and stuff. However, smart mixing is a way of uploading your task, and then the platform is going to mix it, so it's just better for, again, like for some kind of like quality control. So on each page we have 4 main tasks, and we are going to have 1 control tasks. Sometimes we can, like, depending on the tasks, we can have 10 tasks on the page, and one of these will be control tasks. Sometimes we'll have 2. It really depends all on the complexity of the tasks. Just because here the performers have to write everything themselves, we found that, like 5 tasks per page would be optimal. However, you can also, play with this. So, okay, so here is my data set that I've just downloaded. Okay, so now we have 99 tasks, and we have 14 control tasks out of this. Let's save. Yeah, I mean, it might take a while. I'm not frozen. And all right, so we have uploaded our main data sets. Let's just check everything. Like here you can see an approximate price, for example. So for example, if you see sometimes something like strange. Like for example, if here I saw like $100, for example, something would be wrong with the settings. Like everything looks fine to me. I can also preview the task. So here you can see different audios that the person has to transcribe. Let's just hear some.
There is a hot pink lake in Australia.
Yeah, so by the way, this data set we also collected before that using Toloka, by the way. Yeah, so so that's how it should look like. Then everything should be working fine. Let's start the main pool. So how it's gonna work now? I have configured the main pool with different filters. Those filters will be copied on the training pool, and a performer will see a project. He will do the training first. If he gives us wrong answers, he will see like some red sign saying this answer is wrong, this is the right answer. If everything's correct, he'll just get to our main pool. So I've just opened my pool, and my training should be also open now. So we will be waiting for, let's just wait for another like 3 minutes and see that everything's work. People are not complaining. I'm not receiving, angry messages that something's wrong, something's broken. Let's see that the people are getting trained, and then we'll go on a coffee break. So you can check out your statistics if you want to. In our training pool, I can see that 9 people are interested in my pool. That means that right now, 9 people are working on my training pool. So they're transcribing the audios. I see that one item is expired. That means that one performer has taken a task. He didn't like it and he went away to do something different. So that's perfectly fine. Yeah, and then after, so now I see like there are 17, there's like a whole pool of people. After we see some people getting trained, they will be going on to the main pool and will be transcribing the audio. So you can also play sometimes like with the price, put it higher if you want to. Sometimes like it's much more attractive. And I can also maybe play with it and see whether it's going to attract more people, because I assume there are a lot of people launching the same project right now. So I'll hack the system. I'll do 6. Yeah, and then we'll see that we probably will have more people here. But in general, oh yeah, so see, yeah, I have one completed. I have one person who completed the training at the level that I wanted. So now this person will go onto the main pool and complete the tasks. And here I already have some more statistics. I see how much time it takes. I see that now I have 21 people working on my tasks. And yeah, so that's pretty much how you start labeling the data. After we come back from our coffee break, we will be having a theory part, and performers will be working on the projects, and then we will receive our results and aggregate them and see what we got. And by the way, I can also give you some like very quick life hack before you go and get the coffee. Yeah, so in our main pool, right? Sorry, what?
You have 2 performers who completed training.
Yeah, but I can. It would be like much more like how do I say, complicated. So I'm just going to go to my previous task that I ran yesterday. So when you have your pool, when you have people submitting the tasks in your pool, you don't have to wait for whole 100%. You will be able just to press on the button view assignments, and here you will have many different assignments, and you can just check out what people are writing.